Hi folks, thanks for tuning in and welcome back again. I'm out in the woods today, and as you can see, it's a beautiful autumn day. I have my bushcraft bag set up there, laying up on the rock, and I'll show you how I have that outfitted for the fall. And everything there will probably change next month as it gets a little bit colder, but I'll show you some of the equipment I have with me, a little bit of the gear. I came from that direction. Let me just back out of here a little bit. There we go. I came in that direction, northwest. I would say a bearing of about 60 or so, and it's not too far. I got about an hour walk or so. But I was down below this morning. I had some breakfast, some instant oatmeal, and I was down by that stream, and I decided to work my way up this way, and I'll show you around. It's a beautiful day, and I'm about 3/4 of the way up now, but there's the other mountain range across from me. And you could probably hear the water rushing down below. And it's a pretty good drop off. I'll give you a little peek. And it just goes straight down to where that stream is down there. So it's a beautiful fall day. I'm going to get set up here, and then I'll share some of my gear with you all. Stand by, please. Okay, I have the bag here up on this rock. I figure this is a good area to review it. I can lay the blanket here, and I'm not in the dirt over there. A little bit better, and the tripod is a little bit stable. So everything you see in this bag is basically what I'm carrying, with the exception of the tripod and the camera that I'm filming with. That would ride in this area here, in this little opening right through here. I'd put the tripod in there, and that's how I got it here. But as you can see, I have a army wool blanket at the bottom. I have it on this shelf system. That's how I have it secured on there. And I'll just cover some of the components on the outside real quick, and then I'll move into the inside of the bag. On top here, carabiner. I have a grim lock, which is ideal for securing a hat if you don't want to carry your hat around. This is the kind of hat I'm wearing today. It's a Tilley hat, and it's a very nice hat. It has an airflow type mesh on top, and I've taken this all over Canada, Texas, Africa, and it's my go-to hat for going into the woods or going on an adventure or whatever. But I like to have some head cover. But if it gets really hot and I don't want to wear it, I'd secure it with this right here, this little grim lock, and it wouldn't come off here. I do have a little lighter on top here in this case, Zippo lighter. I know some of you have commented that I should put a little bit of a Ranger band around here to keep it from leaking and drying out. I tried that, it helped, but it didn't solve the problem. Bottom line, it did solve the problem. There's a Thunderbird butane insert in there, and now this lighter does not dry out, and I don't have any issues with it. And there you go. It's a little bit of a blue flame, nice and hot. I did the same thing for my get home bag, and that rides in here. By the way, this is not an emergency bag. This is my little bushcraft setup, and this bag is for play. So that's basically how I have the top. Now, someone else inquired about these little pouches here, and these are Eberlestock Mini Pouches, and they're ideal for perhaps putting a lighter in there, nitrile gloves, a small snack, rifle cartridges. If you want to carry some ammunition in there, it would ride in there with no problem. They do come with their own little strap. I keep a little bit of a trail snack in here, a little chunky bar. This way I don't have to dig through the bag if I want to eat something while I'm on the trail. I have two of them, one on each side, and in this one I just have some nitrile gloves in there. I'm running 2 water bottles. This might be a little bit much for some folks, but I drink a lot of water and I don't like to run back and forth to refill it. So I have 2 40s, one on this side and another one on this side, if you could see that right there. And this one's about halfway. A little bit of hand sanitizer right here on this small clip, and I keep that there just for keeping the hands clean. And then on this side, on the straps, I really don't have too much stuff. I do have a Maxpedition Rollypoly. Most of you have seen these before and you're familiar with them. They turn into a pouch. It just gives me additional storage. I'll hold a water bottle and other items, including you know, a dirty shirt or something like that. Little whistle here. Dominator clip on this side right there, if you can see that. And that's basically to secure a hose if you want to run hydration through here. And that's about it for the pack. I do have a rain cover inside here in this pouch, and in here in this mesh area I can secrete my gloves in there, my work gloves, stick them right in there, or my shirt. If I get hot, I can put my shirt and carry it in there. Now as far as clothing, the sky's the limit there. Everything's subject to change depending what part of the world you live in and the climate. I'm just wearing a 511 shirt, synthetic shirt today. It's not that cold out here. Like I said, a Tilley hat and some Petzl gloves to protect the hands. And as far as footwear, I have my Loa boots, my Loa Tibets with some gaiters, and these are very, very nice Bushcraft pants, some of the nicest ones I've been able to find. All Raven. I believe these are called the Barrett Pro pants. They have side pockets, very durable, lightweight, they dry a little quicker than some of my other pants, but all this is subject to change. Once it gets colder, I'll put on a rifleman shirt or a jack shirt that I have from Filson's, or perhaps I'll mix up the wear with some waterproofs as well. I do have my binos with me because I was doing a little bit of scouting earlier, so this is just my binoculars in here that I have in this little setup, and as I'm walking down the trail I can look for deer or animal signs or anything like that, and they just go in this little case like that. It's not too cumbersome and I can get to them quickly. This is just a cheap bino cover I picked up at Cabela's. It wasn't really expensive, but it's not too bulky and it works okay. So let me get this blanket down here, and then I'll tear down the bag. I'll show you all the components I have on the inside, so stand by please. Okay, I have everything laid out here on the wool blanket, so I'll just go around once and share the contents. So start back here with the food bag. This is a sea line bag. It's a 10-liter dry bag, and it's one I like to use to carry my food in. And there's more than enough food in here. And I'll throw some trail mix in there that I pre-portioned at home. Some of these MRE type breads and jams and stuff. And then I have a couple freeze-dried meals. More than enough to get me through the day for sure. And then a lot of hot beverages and drinks. Hot chocolate, hot cider, coffee, and tea in here. And throughout the day I can have a hot drink if that's what I want to do. But this is personal preference. I mean, whatever you folks like to carry, that's entirely up to you. Beef jerky, different items you want to carry in here. But as far as hygiene, I do have some wipes in a bag. I also have some bug wipes and a little bit of number 30 bends for the ticks and the mosquitoes. And if it gets real bad, if I go near the water, I have this this head net. It's mesh, and it'll go over my head, and I like to wear this over my Tilley hat. It's nice and puffy. It's not up against my skin, and it keeps all the bugs from tearing me up. So, 2 40-ounce clean canteens. I previously shared them with you. That's what I like to carry. If you prefer, you know, an Nalgene, that's up to you. A 32-ouncer, but that's not enough water for me. I gotta have at least 2 if I'm going to be out here all day, or then I'm running back and forth trying to find water and filling them up. I have a first aid kit. It's one of the smallest ones I could find. This one's a pre-built one. It's a boo-boo kit put out by ITS Tactical. Very small and lightweight. And let's see if that'll focus. Those are the contents in the bag. And it's not bad. I didn't want to spend a lot of money, so this is what I carry in my kit. I do have a compass by Kamenga, military grade. This is the H3, and that's what I carry. This one has the tritium. It's a sighting compass, and like I said, I came north-northwest, so I came at a bearing of about 60. I don't really need this today, but I do like to carry it with me. If I walk down the stream within an hour or so, I'll hit a road, and if I go in that direction, I'm going to hit a dirt road eventually. So kind of know my way around here, but it's always nice having this with you. Again, this is not a survival bag. This is for taking it out and having some fun. As far as the water, I use a Sawyer squeeze. This is the squeeze bag. This is the filter itself, and I can squeeze them directly into that bag. That stream is not clean enough to drink from. Still needs to be filtered or boiled, or both. This is my fuel bag. I have it filled with heat, and that's the fuel I use to cook with. I prefer using a form of alcohol to cook with. This is a very lightweight, see-through one. It has graduations. And this one has not leaked. I still don't trust it, and I carry it in this bag. And I probably have about 2 more burns left, and then I'm done. This is a very small pot that I carry in this Pathfinder bag. I'm not sure what this came with. Maybe it was for a slingshot or wrist rocket. And this is an MSR stowaway pot, 775 milliliters. It's a very nice pot. They make, I believe, 2 larger and 1 smaller, so this is kind of like in the middle. And inside I just keep a fold-away cup, one of these small fold-away cups, about 1/3 of a sponge to clean up with, and a camp towel. And that all rides in there very nicely. And it's nice having 2 pots, because you can boil water in one and cook in another. Gives you some options. And this handle just lines up just like that, and it locks away very securely. So once again, the stowaway pot by MSR. Now, as far as tools, I have my knife and my custom sheath. This is the Bark River Bushcrafter, and I've showed you this knife before. There you go. And if you haven't seen it, you can see my review. I show you several bushcraft knives. This is my preferred one. It's not too big. It has a Scandi Vex grind, and beautiful knife. And I keep it in a custom sheath with a fire steel, and I also have a sharpening implement in there, a little mini strop. This is the other tool. This will be replaced as it gets colder with my axe. And this is a Pocket Boy saw by Silky. This is the 170, so it's the larger. I have the 130 as well, and I also have the Baco, and they're all comparable. They all cut pretty well. This one has 2 adjustment points, and for those that are interested, it is a 6 3/4 inch blade, 17.1 centimeters. I believe these are the medium teeth. If it is not, I'll correct it when I do my write-up online. And this saw is 7 ounces or 200 grams. Very, very nice saw. And it does come with a case. I left that home, not necessary having the additional weight, but as you can see, it's not that big. And this is the Pocket Boy 170. I have a little cordage here in the spool tool with the cutting implement. This is paracord, and then I have the lighter to burn it with. And it's a nice way to manage the cordage. Have some work gloves here, just a pair of Petzls, and this is nice for messing around the fire, processing firewood. And this here is my preferred stove. This is what I like to cook with. There's others. This is an Eberlestock titanium stove, and it's very easy to put together. It has 4 panels, 4 side panels, and then the base plate, the floor plate, and it also has 2 cross members for stability if you have a really heavy pot or something like that. Good wind protection, nice and flat, stores away, and it's an excellent way to cook either with a Trangia burner or with just regular firewood. It works fine. This is my preferred kettle right here. I did have another one years ago that had plastic or a rubberized material here, and I didn't like that. I gave it away. This is a stainless steel GSI kettle, 32 ounces, 946 milliliters, and that's about what you can expect if you cook with alcohol. If you cook with wood, this will all turn black, so you decide what you want to do there. And someone has asked if the soot gets all over the place, will get on your clothes and everything, the inside of your bag. The answer is yes. And if you want to control or minimize some of that, just get a small bag, put the pot in there, and then you don't have to worry about it. You can just throw this in the laundry when you get home. And this cleans up. I mean, it requires some scrubbing to get that black soot off there. It cleans up okay. It's not going to be perfect, but it cleans up. Just got to put some elbow grease in there. But alcohol is definitely much cleaner. There's no doubt about that. Now, as far as the burner, for the Eberlestock stove, I use this Trangia. And I just pour the alcohol in there. And you've all seen this trick before. Keep a couple tea lights in there. And I just fill that with fluid. I'll shoot a spark in there from the fire steel, and I'm off cooking. And it's a small controlled fire. It's easier to cook with. It's not all over the place. And that's why I like using these little stoves. They're just a very nice platform. A lot of folks use these. These have been around for years, and they'll last. Esbit also makes them, 6 in one, half dozen in the other. They're comparable. And that's what that looks. I'm not sure where this bag came from, but that's what it rides in. I just put it in there so it doesn't rattle. There's not a lot of noise. And here, wrapped in this bandana, is simply a very small Altoids tin with a small fire kit. Matches, fat wood, some quick tinder, striker, little fire steel or mesh metal rod, and jute twine. And that rides in there. This little band just keeps it together so it doesn't come apart. And I like this setup because it allows me to make coffee or tea, and I still have another pot to cook with. And that's very advantageous. Of course, I could boil water in the canteens in a pinch if I wanted to. That's another option. Now, that's a little mountain plate. I believe that's made by MSR. It's just a very small plate to eat on. And over here, I have my preferred mug, and this thing is outstanding. And it is titanium. This is a Snow Peak 450 milliliter, doubled walled, so it's going to keep the drink hot longer. Now in the winter it's still going to get cold because most of the heat is going to escape from the top, but I can put that lid on there, or that mountain plate if I'm not using it, right over the top, and it'll retain some of the heat. But this thing is awesome. It's lightweight, it's comfortable in the hand, and it's my preferred trail mug. Once again, the Snow Peak 450 doubled walled titanium. And I have a small spoon here by Optimus. don't know if you could see that or not. And it folds out, and this is just to stir things with. You can use a stick, it's not necessary, but it's a lot easier to eat with this than a stick. And then I have some tongs here, some bamboo tongs, and I'll write all this stuff up, I'll put it online, and these are really nice for eating noodles and things like that. And over here I have my preferred headlamp. This is a zebra light, and I'll put the model number when I do my write-up. I have 3 of these, one for my bushcraft, one for my emergency kit, my get home bag, and another one in my hunting bag. Super bright, it's a floodlight, it just lights up a giant circle on the trail, and it's one of my preferred lights. And as far as shelter, this is what I bring. It's so nice today, I don't need to set it up, but if it were raining or the weather were to turn, this is a tarp by DD Hammocks, and it's 9 feet by 9 feet roughly, 650 grams, has 19 attachment points, and it's this color too, by the way. And it has the lines inside, and I put some titanium pegs in there that I have coiled up in the center, and I could just run a ridge line, do the 4 corners as attachment points, and I have a shelter and probably have one up in 10 or 15 minutes, no problem. So wool blanket underneath, of course, for warmth. And I already talked about clothing. That's just so subjective, and it's going to change with the seasons. But this is just a very small overview of what I have in this kit, at least when I'm running the kit with this fall. And I'll probably switch it around once it starts to get colder. I'll replace this with an axe. Probably bring a different knife, maybe something a little bit bigger. And then of course the clothing, I'll go from the synthetics, I'll transition over to a wool, and change the gloves and everything else. So this is going to conclude this little presentation. Thanks for tuning in, and see you all next time.